My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Shadows over Loathing. In the last episode, we had explored some of, no, not Grade County. Although I guess I'm not going to be able to pull up the map for it here. We'd explored some of Government Valley. We had attempted to hand in a form, unsuccessfully, mind. I'm just a bit concerned about the whole form of it all. The whole form situation. Because I didn't find anything additional in the area after we left the IRS central office that was going to give me the ability to fold papers, such as I may have needed. And this causes a deep concern within my body. That maybe I was just supposed to fight them? That doesn't seem correct. What had happened, effectively, is I went back and I rewatched the footage from the end of the last episode to try and figure out what is going on that this fold man won't fold my foldables. He tells me the form needs to have an R, and then I give him a form with an R, and he's like, what's this? A form with an R on it? How goddamn dare you? I wonder if he just needed to be reloaded as an instance, even? Like, wait, I need to not have a form in my hands first time I talk to him if I can. Go to my quest items. Wait a second. Wait one dang second. Oh, one of these is openable. Where are you? Where are you, buddy? I need to wear that. Old insurance company letter. A yellowed envelope from an insurance company. This is because I got the letter opener in the last episode. Spent a lot of periods, a lot of time trying to figure out, last episode, 2 episodes ago, spent a lot of time trying to figure out exactly what it would open. And only got junk mail, but I was certain there was another thing, the old insurance company letter. You read the letter. Dear Sir, regarding your insurance claim, the funds are being dispersed to your employer on record at the time of the writing, which is the Ocean City Watchful Eye. The letter is dated April 18th, 1805. Did they even have insurance back then? No, but they had insurance. I am going to go and check that out first. Am I? No, I am currently here. Don't take the bus. Stay in the IRS. What about that form? What about that form, though? Also, I don't have any new readables after having transformed them, right? Alcimus Works of the Romance Poets might be, I think, the only book that I got there. Cool. Yes, going back to quest item. Form. Right, I have to throw that out. Shred. Take that. Bureaucracy. Okay, so he's not even going to tell me what he needs. I'm going to take a C82-788 off the floor. You want it? As you said, you need a form that starts with R. The problem is I remember having done this last episode where I'm like, okay, you need a form that starts with R? Here you go. Give you a form that starts with R. He's like, nope, needs to start with I. I followed him around the track a little bit here. A different form. There we go. I followed him around and around and around a little bit here. Now he wants an R. Alright, I'm gonna force him into the same position of rejecting one that I clearly have directly in front of him. He wants a B. Wait. I? R, B? No. Alright, wants a B. You can have a B. I just don't understand what he wants. On some fundamental level, do you want me to slice a little bit off of the B first before I give it to you? It needs to be a form with which I have operated some. Nope. What if it doesn't have any letters on it? What about that? What do you think about a no-letter letter? It starts with the letter nothing. I just don't get it. My form is now oh! Wait, F-O-R? What? No. F-O-R, starting with R, no, but it'd be starting with F in that situation. Sure, I slice off the form. I slice the form off of the form. I did not intend to attack you. I give up. I run away. You realize that winning is better than losing, and you resolve to try again in the future. Trying again. Losing that fight filled you with determination, and what you're determined in is that in the future you should try winning fights instead of losing them. No. Because the logical puzzle over the course of the rest of this, it just makes sense that I would be able to give it and fold it. No form after all. I don't want a form at all. Tell me anything? No? Is it possible I can tell from his outfit? You need an I-32. That's classic I-32 tie right there. No, you need a K. Okay. I'll get you a K. I'm gonna try this for like half a minute more before I'm like, nope, One starts with Well, it starts with are you gonna only demand R's right now? Okay, you're only demanding R's right now. That's good. I got one of them for you. And now you want it to be a C. Now you want it to be a B. Yep. I'm gonna leave, come back with no form in hand. I'm going to grab a form for the first time ever. I'm gonna take it to this guy. Nothing. All right. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I thought it was gonna do a thing and then it didn't do the thing. Go to the Black House. Standing tall in the wreckage of the burned out garage is the statue of your nemesis, the sinister accountant Terrence Poindexter. Looks like he was put there to quantify the damage. I scribble something obscene, of course. It is seriously locked, seriously incapable of getting through that at this point in time. Okay, fine. Fine, game. Where else can I go? Unusually smart rat. I've already given the unusually smart rat some government cheese. Glordo doesn't need those 5 cotton candies. That's just if I should happen to want to continue that experiment. Let's go to the Big Moist, I guess. I'm gonna go to the wrecked riverboat. And I think maybe it's time for me to pummel this plant. I didn't want to do this, riverboat plant. I took every opportunity to do something different. Alas. There'll be no more of nature's gloating over the death of that boat. Rightly so. And what glittering prize has lured in these rubberneck and stink bugs to this, and bees rather, sorry, to this gloomy ruin? I'll send 'em packing with Deuce and Moxie? Soxy? Molly, sorry. I've got so much AP. It's so easy. You got an item. Swamp honey. The chasing bugs abandon the trunk for new and exciting adventures. Swamp honey. A sticky glob of honey made from the pollen of fetid swamp flora. Good luck to all the bugs. Now, what was in here that had intrigued those bugs? Open it up and get 12 meat. A little bit of meat. Did you look at that? Nobody tells me what to look at. Ah! No, I wanted... That's what I get for being snarky. The game gave me the opportunity. I thought I was getting laughed at. Come on, game. If I reload the area, will you let me? Please? I just want the full completion. It's all I've ever wanted. I think not, right? Yeah, no boring trunk anyway. Dang. Hey, Captain Dan. A point of frustration with the crow. Unfortunately, you can't do it. Need the code again. There's no shame. They use maritime basic format. Year, month, day. Right, so you confirm that you use the Maritime Basic format. Neat. But I guess that's worth confirming, or easily confirmed, because we've already been down here to the below deck. This already seems to be in the right position, but the thing is, it doesn't seem to be very different, whether or not it is in the right position. Like, the steam as it currently is still not blocking this. So I wonder what the steam is supposed to do instead. They're minding their own bug's nest. I'm gonna murder these bugs too. My patience is running thin. I will murder the bugs before I murder the notary and the folder. But they are next. The bugs bug out of being alive. Deuce gets stronger, +1 to all stats. Laundry facilities, including this hand-operated washing machine, are kept well below deck. Guests don't want to see how the sausage is washed. I search it. A tiara? In a washing machine? Chaos truly did befall this wreckage. An unglorious tiara, fit for a disgraced queen. A hat of +1 physical armor. By this point in the game, that is guaranteed to be a bad hat, so I wonder if I have the ability to transform that again later in some way. This must have belonged to the ship's cabin boy. I open it up. A classic pair of deckhands pants, rather. Deckhands pants. Pants. What a deckhand wears on their deck legs. You can't wear them, because you have regular legs. You wonder if somewhere there's a deckhand running around without their pants, but given the state of the boat, it is far more likely that they are dead. A note is taped up inside the cabin. I read it. Oh. As sailors, Poseidoos and Poseidons. Poseido, remember your date formats. We have standard, local, radio. So standard, month, day, year, local, month, day, year, month. What? How many of these am I gonna need to know? So, they gave us international, maritime plus, and standard. So, new to us right now. Let me just find a little space to write this bad boy down. New to us right now is local of month, day, year, month. Radio, which is wild as hell, of year, month, day, month, year. International, Maritime Basic, Maritime Plus. Maritime Minus is day, month, day, year, month, and Deckhand Basic is day, one sec, deck, day, year, month, day, year, month. And then there's a second page, Maritime Humor. Read Maritime Humor. Maritime Humor. What is the pirate's best part of the boat? The starboard. Ha, what is a sailor's favorite joke? Land. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go back to the Poseidoos and then I'm gonna eat this note. Eating the note is a big Poseidon. They would have written that if they meant that. I don't trust that. Oh no, I could have steamed those bugs away! Oh no. Right, if this goes all the way to the end and I hit it correctly, maybe the steam's coming down here now. I could have steamed those bugs so good. This one's not gonna get the crow ever, is it? But it is clearly going between different decks. I thought I previously had it bang on, but what if I was just off enough? Like that. That is spot on. Now where is it? Never mind. Hasn't changed the good goddamn. Dan, we are all broke upon thine wheel. Stands back down to the deck. That's the searched area from before. I mean, there would be a little steam vent above the crow if I could use that. Los and David, Longfellow. Oi! 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 The standard combination doesn't work. The standard combination doesn't work. Okay. It was January 4th. So that's 0401. I can't remember the year. I'll go back and ask him that. It's 65, I think. No, 45. 1845. But Deckhand Pat locked these up. Deckhand Pat is a deckhand. The Deckhand Basic. Deckhand Basic? I just wrote down deck. It was deck something. It's day, year, month, day, year, month. So, open this lock. This is 04 04 51. The lock slips from the door, shattering upon the deck into 1,000 tiny pieces. Inside the stall is a ruined toilet, which is of course no surprise, but what's on the back of the door is quite unexpected. A time portal. Yeah, I'll address the time portal in just a second, but let me get at that toilet. I got something I need to flush. The toilet! The toilet! I mean the toilet! You step from the outhouse into a beautiful day. The sky is bright and blue, the glistening deck freshly swabbed, and the passengers hale, hearty, and freshly swabbed. You exist in a moment of joy, a frozen tear on a warm cheek. Cool beans. I've never met Mr. Longfellow. Perhaps he's too long to meet. Pencil in hand, this passenger muses over his missive. I read what he's writing. It's a letter in progress, I sneak a peek. Oh, Martha, I was never intended to be a husband so long as my mind was cursed to generate my great ideas. For example, if we twist the cow differently, might we not produce milk but cheese? I must be free of our marriage if I am to pursue this notion. I trust this clears up why I dove out of the car so suddenly. A deckhand stares where the crow was, or rather will. I could talk to him. If I don't see a whale on this cruise, I'm gonna end of sentence. Can't. I didn't read the entire thing fast enough, unfortunately. Fine day for a crab lunch, eh? The crowd here is too excited about the stairs to let you through. That crown sparkles with the well-brushed tooth of an ice troll. Ah, I see. This tiara will be garbage very soon. I speak with its owner. Fine cruise, traveler. Who are you? Who am I? I am multitudes, traveler. To one, I am one thing. To another, another. To some, I am a riverboat passenger. To others, a countess of City of Clocks. Nice crown. Tiara. Can I have the tiara? I am sure you could possess it, but I do not believe that it will ever be had by anyone. How much for the tiara? It has quite a price, yes. Ooh, 100 meat. Cash? That's more straightforward than I expected. I don't tell you what I want, I tell you what the price is. Okay, I'll buy the tiara. You got an item, glorious tiara. Shiny is the head that wears this crown. +1 to mysticality and moxie as well as physical armor. A slightly better hat, admittedly, but still it's no maggot. She abdicates the tiara without ceremony. This is a purchase by you of a city from its final countess. But it's actually just a crown, right? She turns in silence to face the waves. Look, this boat's gonna crash. Yes, and I think you should not be here when it does. I'm gonna show her the ruined tiara I found in the hull. What do you make of this? She barely glances at the tarnished double of her glorious crown. I have not looked upon my bones before, and I expect I shall again. Or I expect I shall again. I have looked upon my bones before. Interesting. Who are you? A fine cruise to you. Goodbye. A deckhand stands where the crow is, or rather would be. Afraid there's no access to the promenade right now. The stewards are tastefully arranging lunch, and the slightest disturbance could throw off all the tastefulness. Do you transform into a crow in the future? Hope not. Left my crow phase in my mid-20s like any lad does. I went to find the sea instead. What do you make of Captain Dan? Captain's disciplined, all right, no mistake. I like to joke that Dan means disciplined and no mistake. That's a joke that you like to make? Correcto! Well, goodbye. Good cruise to you. I will tell him about the boat. Please, pal, it'll just be another moment for your crab lunch. The stewards are overworking time to kill the crab. Working overtime, rather. I think the boat's gonna crash. Sea travel's perfectly safe, I assure you. Statistically, it's more dangerous to ride a motorcycle into the ocean. You have to stop this boat! Stop the boat! The captain won't hear of it. He took this charter to show all of his guests their time of their lives, and that's just what he means to do. Well, goodbye. So what additional information have I managed to ploy from this? This guy intends to invent cheese. I could try and go back into the outhouse. Interacted with a deckhand in the past who will not turn into a bird, he assures me. You don't hear the captain. Only sea jazz. I've also interacted with the Countess and I've gotten her tiara. How will any of this affect? The dreadful crow perks up right as you exit through the outhouse. If that beak's good for one thing, it's for sniffing out sparkling tiaras. With great agitation, he flaps his giant wings and leaps off the deck right at you. Like a king's sickly second cousin, he wants the crown and he's gonna take his shot. Oh! Okay, I'm gonna throw the tiara through the time door! With a supernatural whoosh, the tiara is sucked back to whence it came. Undeterred, the croweth pursue. He's gone, lost in time, destined to become his own grandfather. Or yours. What now? He's nothing like Grandpa Feathers. Grandpa Feathers! The crow is bound and awaits extradition to the Sky Court. No need to panic, pal. The second I saw that crow lurch towards the outhouse, I had him flat on the deck, his wings bound with a secret sailor's knot. You're never in any real danger, and he's not getting at that crab lunch. Was that crow holding a tiara by any chance? I'm afraid the crow swallowed it in the scuffle, pal. Ah, drat. I wanted that crown. Hey, do you want to go fetch the crown from inside that note? Okay, cool. Fair enough, and makes sense. I mean, hey, it's an end to the crow problem at the absolute least. These stairs lead up to the top deck, where normally only those passengers who have lived a virtuous life can ascend. I head up. Oh, it's under the crow. The Longfellow Promenade. The bush and bramble of this crow's nest have claimed the boat's rear end. You always hear about the crow's nest on a boat. That and the crow's hole. I reach inside the crow's hole and I get some crow bullion. A bar of gold engraved with the head of a stately crow. Crows use this for money. There's no way of knowing how far the crow hole will be. I reach inside the crow hole. It looks like this is spawning extra crows. You got an item, the Longfellow ring. A ring to promote, in conjunction with balanced exercise and regular diet, the longening of a fellow. Makes you longer. A maze of twisted little crow's holes. I reach inside and I get the wheelhouse key! Not the shiniest key you've ever seen, but of crow's standards, it's alright. It's a key and it looks long enough to unlock the doors of the Longfellow. The Longfellow ring I will equip. become a little bit of a longer fellow. The giant and ghoulish crow asserts unchallenged dominion over the boat's top deck, and he rules, though, not through love, but fear, for what is scarier than a crow? Me, I am. What? A human outscare a crow? If you could figure out a way to do it, then let the rest of us know, would you? You'd be the first in the history of the world. I invent avian obscenities. The crow pales like a dolphin at the guillotine and scurries as fast as its giant wings can flap. Allons! Strange marks mar this tiny table's surface. I look closer. Faint impressions of a word are left in the wood, as if someone wrote a letter at this table without first putting something beneath the paper, which is very rude to do if the table's not yours. I read the message. And though the very new and serious captain has not even met us yet, he has been already making a big stink about having one beer while we were on the charter. I have half a mind to jump ship and take this little table with me, because I own it. And, okay, never mind, it's fine. And so it is fine for me to write here without anything between the paper and the surface. Due respect was paid. Fair enough. Another crow has made its home on the deck in response to your flagrant rummaging of its crow holes. I scare him to death. Okay, sure, that's one crow scared off, but two? Not even an actual scarecrow could manage that. I tear an invisible encyclopedia in half. The crow's dark feathers run white, and the last vestiges of his strength abandons. He abandons the deck and communal nest, rather. Hooray! This one looks pretty clever, but the first crow was the deepest. I shatter his mind. Word of a tricksy crow frightener is spreading fast through the boat. Soon the myth will evolve into its own life and thoughts. I glower like a god. The crow staggers overboard, grasping the last scraps of his sanity like a sudden tear in a bathing suit. The power is yours. It's one to be used responsibly. No, it's not. No marks on this table's surface. If anyone used this thing to write, they put something underneath the paper, which is commendable etiquette, but not helpful to your reconstruction of the historical record. This crow is in a 5-way tie for the biggest bird you've ever seen. I frightened the bird. The whole swamp is now fertilized, and it hatches with talk of the traveler who gobbles up the courage of crows like so much country stew. So mythic is this figure, nobody would believe that you, a mortal, are they. Unless you show them. Actions, not words. I flex my tongue with malice. The first farmer to stick a scarecrow in the wheat fields was never really satisfied with his creation. I mean, sure, it worked, but it didn't look like what he'd seen in his mind. The thing he saw those thousands of years ago was you. In this moment, you are the scarecrow. You have always been the scarecrow. Yes. A mount for binoculars. Though with binoculars missing, the opportunities for sightseeing are minimal. Also, you're in a swamp. I look through the mount anyway. A few feet out of the riverboat's carcass, a frog is fighting a heron with a whip. Rarely are you afforded such a close-up view of nature. There's a skeleton hiding in the apple barrel, bobbing along with some few apple skeletons. Footsteps on the deck. Be it, yes, novice swordsman. Novice. Still can't see you, I'm afraid. 'Tis the wheelhouse, not the window house. Window house. At last, the wheelhouse. Your compass is going wild. The money must be inside. I knock. Crow's got the key, not the seaman. Had a spare in there. But we ate it one day to stave off cannibalism. I unlock it. Click clack. The wheelhouse key has come wheel home. I go inside. But of course, I mean, the cannibalism you were staving off by eating something metallic, I feel, strays closer to cannibalism than you would have if you'd ate a body. Your compass needle oscillates violently in the presence of this console. I could turn off the console, but I could also not yet. The creaks reach your ears before the creaker your eyes. Suspended from the ceiling, this boxy thing, given motion, lurches left, right, and down, straining at the springs grafted to its back. There is no ship's captain, no passengers, no meat. This automaton, this creature, is the only living thing in the wheelhouse. If you even call that living. Captain Dan?
Another seaman in me wheelhouse. 'Tis a day most dreaded by every sailor. A worse fate even than the chomping by the chitinous beak of the frightful sailor. I can only guess that the boat's been on land, and the boat being on land has imbued you with extra powers, allowing you to make it this far.
Was I not supposed to rescue them from the wheelhouse?
I'm afraid you've been a passenger on me riverboat, Ruse. Weren't me that needed saving from the steam, the crows, the bugs. But, that needed killing. By then.
Seems harsh. Why are you trying to get me killed, Dan?
A machine that be, novice seaman, made to follow instructions. Me instructions with the captain this riverboat, to show all those aboard the time of their lives. The time of their lives, you see. Time meaning beginning, middle, and end. To fulfill my task to its letters, I had no choice but to ram the riverboat into a monstrous swamp and terminate every living soul aboard.
Right, some questions.
Water away. That's how we say fire away at sea.
Any chance you've got a huge amount of meat stashed up here?
Just first, only thing I care about.
Meat? Ha! I've no use for it.
I wonder why Mudhenge sent me here then.
Mudhenge? You ever thinking of Stonehenge, novice seaman?
Why'd you have to try and kill me? I'm not a passenger.
Aye, and you'd be alright for a novice seaman. Only teasing. But me instructions require me to show all aboard the time of their life. So once you boarded the craft, you became me responsibility. Really, I'd say your quibble is with the writers of me instructions and not me.
So you'll just kill everything who comes on board?
Can't promise it, but yeah, I'll give it the old college try. Old water college, that is.
I'm starting to doubt your command of nautical knowledge.
Doubt me command, do you? Mutinous talk. Shut your land lips.
Your logic's a little strained.
You whispering land lies, lubber. What you believe to be faulty reasoning is mere misfires in your rotten brain. To me, a perfectly correct creature of logic, and a model sailor to boot. What I've done as captain is not only logical, but very, very good and very smart.
You know that you've misinterpreted time of your life.
Misinterpret? The only miss I know, novice seaman, is the powerful mistress we sailors call the ocean. I be a sailor, you know.
You know, if you were a sailor, you would know your Poseido's from your Poseidons.
Aye, what of it? I hardly need a lecture on my Poseido's from a land leech.
Killing your passengers and crew is, to me, a big Poseidon.
Captain Dan dangles uncomfortably from his rod graphs.
Even I, a novice seaman, know that.
Captain Dan's wooden noggin starts to spin around like an owl on a merry-go-round.
Do you know less about the sea than a novice seaman?
Captain Dan's limbs spin and spin, threatening to overheat until, instead, he whimpers into non-existence. He feared you the most, Ryan, and always did. For all his faults of logic, he fancied himself a sailor to his wooden bones. And it is a tenet of nautical prophecy that the only thing that can kill a sailor is a warrior from the land. I get 20 experience and I get to search about. It wasn't all a lie though. The bendy telescope was real. I got an item, the bendy telescope. It's a melee weapon. Your enemies will never see it come and get knocked on the noggin with a bendy telescope. Not even if they had access to their own bendy telescope. You leave Dan shattered in wormwood food, his anchor lain in automaton hell. No longer shall he menace land or sea, and this tiny little patch of swampland is safe once again, if not especially desirable to visit or live. Good riddance is our first, or I hope you had the time of your life. I have to. The 13 to 16-year-old inside of me that listened to nothing but Green Day for 3-4 years needs to answer that in that way. Your compass is oscillating violently in the presence of this console. I turn off the console. Just like that, the needle reverts to a normal function, pointing west. So there never was any meat here? Just electrical interference confusing your compass? This would never happen at Stonehenge. The wheel's made of plastic. The boat must have been controlled via Captain Dan's central wooden nervous system. I take the wheel, the Longfellow's steering wheel. A traditional wooden ship's wheel in a non-traditional location. Your pocket. I assume you meant take it with you, not take control of the ship. The ship's radio still broadcasts, though only to an empty and derelict riverboat. I swear into the microphone. Despite the radio's limited broadcasting area, your filthy and unprintable words from your mouth blast a horrible smell across the county. Country, rather. Good lord, that's range. At this exact moment, many miles away, a creature's eyes snap open for the first time. The Federal Radio Commission has been born. Damn it! A sea captain can only survive so long, rather, on land. I'm banned from using that radio. Oh look, it's the hunk of junk that spoiled your visit to Mudhenge. You know, we found a lot of good lootables in this area. Have we found all of the lootables in this area? Maybe not. I looked through the bendy telescope. Dan wasn't lying about one thing. You really can see a lot with the aid of a bendy telescope, including, from this angle, what looks like a disturbed plank under one of the chairs on the main deck. Ah, I see. New loot for me. Loot for me. Under one of the chairs on the main deck, right? So there'll still be another down. The plank beneath the chair looks fine up close, but much is revealed through the contours of a bendy telescope. I dislodged the plank. One of the passengers must have stashed this away for their family. Or for you. You can't rule out that they left this here for you. I get 131 meat. That's a lot less than I thought I was gonna get. Admittedly. We are all broke upon thine wheel. I mean, admittedly, it does seem like this might be full completion of this area, but it seems like the value may be mostly manifest in the fact that Mudhenge's interference is now gone. I toss a match at the guys to get myself 14 experience whilst we're walking through. With the swamp air now free of the Longfellow's electrical interference, perhaps the compass on the altar is worth another try. I place the compass and really focus on meat again. The needle swings smoothly this time to the southern arch. I'm coming, meat!
Where am I?
I just got the achievement, Bad Dogs? So I have a suspicion as to where I am. I'm in the vault in the Securibus. The impenetrable vault door is secured by a simple latch. Careful around the stool, it must be very valuable. Oh boy. Oh. Alright, I'm looting all of them. The safety deposits here are unused except for one in the name of Rahila Mirza. I loot it. None of the boxes are locked. Guess they blew the budget on the door. You got an item, Gustav's egg. A fabulous Gustav's egg! You thought all of these had hatched by now. Gustav's egg. One of the 52 unique eggs created by the Gustav. By Gustav himself, rather. It is said that if the eggs were ever combined, they would form Gustav's omelette and block out the sun. As an offhand item, it deals our muscle in physical damage to an enemy and then reduces all its stats by 5. I mean, it's fine. You've been through these boxes. Cool. This entire row of boxes is reserved to one bug Fairmont. I open it up, I get 401 meat. Wealth beyond measure, assuming a measurement system ends at 400. There's one box here in the name of Cecil Rayleigh Tires. I loot it. A Dead Sea Scroll. It just says sports all over it. Over and over. Normally something like this would be priceless, but I bet you'll find a way to sell it. Most of the boxes here appear empty. There's one very tempting one labeled simply Calico Ham I loot. And I get one person's trash. Supposedly it's another person's treasure, but it sure looks like trash to you. Let me open it up and see. Ooh, interesting, interesting. It's not even openable, but it's also not sellable. Or rather, it doesn't direct me to sell it. There's a safety deposit box here in the name of Mitchell Vanderyacht. I loot it. A desiccated moth decays quietly in drawer. There's a safety deposit box here to a spiral Gershwin, which I also loot, and I find an old onion sandwich. You don't know precisely how long this was locked away in the safety deposit box, but there's really no good answer. They must have wanted to save it for later. All of the previous ones have been appropriately looted. We are now reaching the final. Several of the boxes here belong to a Spencer Robespierre. I loot it and find a powdered wig. Cover up the syphilis sores on your scalp, but make it fashion. Plus one moxie and regenerate an extra AP per round. Super neat. Looks exactly like human hair, but you can't get rid of that goat smell. One of the safety deposit boxes here belongs to E.R. Tidyman. I open it up and there's a roll of duct tape inside. Any hat can be made more duct tape covered simply by putting duct tape on it. Adds +3 physical armor to a hat. It's nice to have something practical mixed in with all these riches. Several of these boxes are reserved to one Chelsea Holstein Gatorp. I loot them. Just looks like it's salt in here. Ooh, interesting. That interaction is consistently available. Maybe at some point in the future I'm gonna need a little bit of salt. The door is unlocked, so you can come and go as you please. I do please. So I go. You know, we also do have a new time. Hey, Sugar, over here. You want me to talk to you? Molly suddenly makes an excited noise and smacks herself on the forehead. Oh, of course! Madeline's! Madeline who? Madeline's what? Maddie used to be an expert jailbreaker, but she retired and went legit. Now she runs a little shop where she sells cakes with flies in them. Okay, so she didn't exactly go that legit. Cakes with files in them, which I misread. Oops. Anyway, I gotta go buy a cake for Nancy. Hold off a minute. We're gonna do that next episode. To end this episode, however, let's see if... There we go. April 18th, 1805 has any entry. You find something interesting, 10 experience, and you check the files for the date mentioned in the letter from the insurance company. Sure enough, there's a big pile of meat in there. It's so old and dry, but it'll still spend. I get 500 meat. And direction for the start of the next episode, as we are going to do Molly's next vignette. But until then, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Shadows Over Loathing. Top left is a series playlist, YouTube recommendation down below, string past and the names of the people listed jealously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/Rhapsody Plays. Out above the thank you, and a special thanks this episode to Eloise. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we see you all next time.